Some things that are really hard to talk about and hard to report. Nevertheless, because they are happening, they have to be talked about. Recently, cops were given total immunity for crimes committed without any type of prosecution coming toward them whatsoever. I found this video on Undisputed with Dr. Rashad, Richey. And the headline reads, Cops faced jury after shooting. Cops are facing a jury after shooting a double amputee 11 times and killing him. According to them, they said they were in fear for their lives. How were cops in fear for their lives of a double amputee? Shot him 11 times, murdered him in cold blood, and then said they were in fear of their lives. A judge ruled in favor of a jury trial after California police shot 36-year-old Anthony Lowe 11 times. Dr. Rashad, Richey, and Jackson White discuss on Indisputable. No, you all don't like to hear about this because most of your friends are probably cops. And you'll go along with anything they say and do. And what is the status quo line? I'm in fear for my life. That's what they always say. What would happen if a bunch of black cops shot a white double amputee 11 times? And then said they were in fear of their lives. And you MAGAites wouldn't like that, would you? No, you wouldn't. And anytime we have to speak out on these things, you think we don't have the right to. Well, you're wrong. Take a look at the video. Judge for yourselves.
Remember the double amputee was shot 11 times, killed, shot in the back. Officers claimed they were in fear for their lives. We have a major update. We're going to take you to the video. Here it is. Let's put up his picture full mask. I'm going to give you the background.
My name is Joel Brevel. I'm a fourth-year medical student at Elson.
Let's put up his picture full mask. I'm going to give you the background and the update to this story. This is a story Indisputable previously covered. Mr. Anthony Lowe, Jr., 36 years of age, was a black male double amputee. Okay? He was shot to death on January 26th by the Huntington Park Police Department. Officers claimed they feared for their lives because he was brandishing a knife. The update, a California judge has ruled that a civil case to determine if police officers used excessive and unreasonable force when they fatally shot the double amputee after jumping him from his wheelchair will be settled by a jury. According to the judge's ruling, the knife also fell out of the wheelchair, which Lowe grabbed after he righted himself on the ground and kept moving away from officers. A reminder of the incident. The rate of which Lowe was fleeing did not appear fast enough to elude officers, but they still opted for lethal force. While the footage does show Lowe motion as he was about to throw the knife and the officers do flinch, it never appeared as though their lives were in immediate danger. Lowe Jr. shown lying on the sidewalk after being shot. Police said in a press release, Lowe was shot in the upper torso and was pronounced dead at the scene. Here's what led to it. So police responded to the scene in Huntington Park following reports that a man had been stabbed by another man in a wheelchair. When they arrived at the scene, police said they found Mr. Anthony Lowe Jr. with a 12-inch butcher knife, which he allegedly used to threaten the officers. The victim of the stabbing was also found to be suffering from a life-threatening stab wound resulting in a collapsed lung and internal bleeding, a statement from police said. Here's the judge's ruling. So the judge ruling states that officers took aim at Lowe with stun guns and firearms, and Lowe died after being struck by multiple bullets. The family's suit against Munoz, Balasgis, and the city of Huntington Park seeks damages for wrongful death, assault, battery, negligence, unreasonable force, among other charges. It's a lot of them. So the cops filed a response to the complaint, denying every single allegation. But a judge recently decided that the matter should actually be decided by a jury. Quote, the court agrees with plaintiffs that the video footage does not demonstrate objectively reasonable police conduct as a matter of law. Los Angeles County Superior Court Judge Virginia Kenney ruled. The video does not clearly show Lowe threatened the officers with a knife. So a civil trial has been scheduled, and we're hoping that there will be justice January 12th, 2026, where a jury will decide if the officer's use of force was reasonable or reckless. The family's legal team said family members are, quote, looking forward to the trial. Lowe's family members.
Folks, this is U.S. Senator John Ossoff in Georgia. Now hear me out.
So a civil trial has been scheduled, and we're hoping that there will be justice January 12th, 2026, where a jury will decide if the officer's use of force was reasonable or reckless. The family's legal team said family members are, quote, looking forward to the trial. Lowe's family members filed and settled their first lawsuit in 2023, but Lowe's daughter pursued another civil injunction in early 2024 against the same parties. The judge stated that both actions have now been consolidated into one. Okay? Let's put her up. Quote, there was absolutely no reason to shoot a double amputee in the back 11 times who was hobbling away from officers. Family attorney Deladonna said both the officers and the public were not at threat. He was a handicapped person suffering from a mental crisis, and quote, the spin from law enforcement was quite insane. Initially, they didn't want the public to know the man was in a wheelchair, that he was a double amputee. They didn't want the public to know this. They wanted the public to know about the knife, about the reason for the 911 call, and the fact they shot him in the torso. That's what they wanted you to know. When you look at the video, there's no clear danger that the officers are in or that anyone else is in, which would give them basically the right, according to the U.S. Supreme Court, to do as they please, to kill them and continue to walk. But a judge looked at it and said, being objective, you cannot reasonably conclude based on this video that these officers followed the law, period. So a jury would decide. All right, Jackson, another one of those cases where obviously the officers could have made a decision that protected life, making them true heroes, but they decided to make a decision that shot a man in a wheelchair 11 times in the back while he was trying to get away.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, there's just no reasonable argument, period, for shooting this man once, let alone 11 times. Because, you know, at least in other situations, you could say, like, oh, he was running away. But this man literally couldn't do that. You know, like, he wasn't in a situation where he was getting away. Like, the cops were, like, walking up on him and he was waving his knife. But because he's a double amputee, like, he can't really do anything with it. So, obviously, they could have tased him. They could have done so many other things 11 times. Like, it's just kind of like, oh, I don't know what to do in this situation, so I'll just shoot him. I mean, like, what? I don't even know what else to say about this. This is just, other than, did you just want to take his life? But, I mean, the dude literally doesn't have legs to walk up or run away from you. Just use your taser or just walk up to him and grab his hand. What do you... I mean, like, there's no defense of this whatsoever. There's just
none at all. And for those who will claim that the officers had reason to do this, then why train officers to engage in non-lethal combat? Why train officers on non-lethal devices? Why does a cop have a taser? Why does a cop have a nightstick, as they would call it? Why does a cop go through combat training? Why does a cop have all of these non-lethal devices at their disposal if they are not supposed to engage them during a moment like this? All right, we'll bring you updates.
Here's why you should definitely publish your book. I believe this quote by Toddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it for yourselves. You saw the video. What do you think? Tyrone Bowman. Never surrender. Never quit.